Hi YouTube, it's Emma Blue Eyes 10 here, and here's a wee advice video for you on how to prepare yourself for dueling, whether you're playing competitively or fun, because these can actually be applied to both segments, but more than likely this is probably going to be more for those who want to actually start playing competitively. I'm going to show you guys, just from my experience, what is good to take in, what's not so good to take in, and things like that, so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, if you're going to your first ever tournament or anything, for me anyway, the two most important things to take with you obviously is your deck with the deck box and a dueling mat, because obviously you need your deck to duel with, and a mat is, some people can play without a mat and there's nothing wrong with that if you've got card sleeves and everything, but a mat's always good because you never know where what's been used last on the surface of the table, to say the least. And I would have shown you my Rainbow Dragon one, but I decided I wanted to give this Kaiba and Yugi mat some screen time for you guys to see, so yeah. So I think obviously, just as basic, for any dueling where you're fun or competitive, you need a deck mat and you need your deck box, simple as that, and deck and everything as well, obviously. But otherwise you can't duel with that. Okay, if you're playing competitively, you need to take a lot more extra things as well. For example, pen and paper is always a good option, because it's always good to note down life points or card effects that have turns on them, say like Swords of Revealing Light, Gold Sarcophagus and everything, or for noting down counters and that, because if you get into a dispute later on, you can actually refer back to the paper. Even if you do keep a note of it, say in your head or anything, you're quite good mentally, you need something to prove if a dispute happens. So it's always good to take some pen and paper with you, or if the tournament's kind enough they can provide it for you, which is not too bad. I mean, we get pen and paper at the tournament, at my local tournament. I take some with me just in case, just to keep out, but I'm quite happy using the other item which I keep my life points on, which is my mobile. Yeah, I can actually I use my mobile, like its calculator, appliances and everything, to oops you can tell I'm still not used to this phone yet. Where is it? There you go. You can actually use the calculator on your phone to keep life points and everything. There's nothing wrong with that, but word of warning: if you've got a really expensive phone that has that, I would honestly suggest you use I'd rather use pen and paper, in honest truth, because obviously if you go to like really big major tournaments like regionals and everything, then it could make you a target for thieves and everything, which isn't a good idea. So there's nothing wrong with using your phone if you're comfortable with it, but if you go to really big events, I would use pen and paper all the way, because it's safer, in honest truth. But a phone is nothing. There's nothing wrong with using a phone to keep your life points in that as well. Another thing which both sides needs, whether it's fun or competitive, is this: a dice or a couple of die and a coin or a couple of coins for counters and everything. These two are very good for starting off, say, beginning the duel and everything, heads or tails, or dice roll to see who goes first. And there's also quite a few card effects that might need these as well to be applied to them. And they can also be used to keep counters, like such as 1 turn, 2 turn, 3 turns for Swords of Revealing Light, and everything in that as well. So whenever I go to tournaments, I always take a coin and dice with me. That way I've got something to start the duels with, I've got something in case the opponent doesn't have. Better safe than sorry, basically. Excuse me. Another few things that I would say are quite good for taking to tournaments and everything would be things like plenty of drinks, you know, because it can get very hot sometimes in the room, or depending on where you are, and you need to keep your brain working, so making sure you've had a good breakfast and plenty of liquid throughout the day is really good. Not alcoholic, mind you. Fizzy drinks, you know, water, that sort of thing is probably best for you, or energy drinks if people feel more comfortable with that. Another thing which is good for taking, is this, a trade folder, so you can get your cards and everything. I mean, this is my big trade folder. Before anybody starts, none of these cards are for trade or sale. I'm just showing you guys an example. These are some take these obviously to get your cards and everything, because trading, I feel like trading's a lot cheaper and easier to do than buying cards and everything, in all honesty. What else is there? Another thing that some people might take if you're waiting for the end of our round, if you finished, is maybe some other form of entertainment. Like for me, for example, I take a book with me to read if I'm not busy trading or giving advice or doing anything like that. Some people might take a DS with them, or they might play with some stuff on their phone. But I prefer taking a book because reading's a really great protector. It gives an acceptable reason for you to be on your own when you're reading, so that's not too bad. Another thing that some people have I've heard about recently and been doing, and I'm actually considering doing myself, is actually taking some hand sanitizer with them to the tournament, because I mean the locals I go to, I can pretty much trust everybody, but some people don't feel comfortable with the fact that there's others touching their cards because you don't know where their hands have been or anything. And I always wash my hands before the tournament and everything, and that sort of thing, because it's more hygienic and everything. So there's nothing wrong with taking like some hand towels or whatever with you if you want to, if that's your personal preference and everything. I don't think there's anything else I can discuss at the moment to prepare yourself for tournaments. I mean, all of these things that I've told you about can be applied to whether you're playing for fun or whether you're playing competitively. So yeah, I hope that helps you out, guys, and we'll see you guys later. Bye!